It's hot in Japan. And you know what goes well on a nice, hot summer day? Trevor in Tokyo. The first thing to note is that basically all ice cream in Japan is superior to ice cream in the West, as well as a lower general sugar content in the ice cream, resulting in a more healthy ice cream. If you just go to the store and look at all the different types of ice cream, you'll notice that there's a lot more types of ice cream than I could possibly eat. But I've done the best that I could in the 5 months that I've been here. So let's go through that list together. As you can see here, I've made a tier list with 4 different tiers for the different types of ice cream we're going to talk about today. Starting from the top, the S tier, always recommend perfect ice cream, could eat it every day for a breakfast treat. Below that is the recommend, the solid option if you're going to go to the store. Can't go wrong for the most part, and I would put it your way if you want it. Next is good. Good being that I'm not disappointed in the ice cream, but I probably wouldn't recommend it over the other option. And finally, meh. They're probably fine. They don't taste bad necessarily, but I wouldn't recommend them over my other choices on this list. The first is this Pariba vanilla core with different pieces of chocolate, like chocolate shell, intermingled into the ice cream proper. Now, the fun thing about this ice cream is not only is it sweet, it's also very cheap. I can get 8 of these ice creams in a container for about 200 yen. You can't go wrong with it. I'd put it in A tier. The next one is kind of an odd ice cream, this strawberry milk ice cream. Now, it's a very strange type of ice cream, and it's got 3 different types of textures on it. The outermost layer looks like a frozen ice cream with more of a solid shell. It's more of a muted vanilla flavor. On the inside, strawberry sakura type flavor, a looser type of strawberry flavor. That's more of an icicle texture. So you go from frozen yogurt to more of a icy texture. And then finally, inside of both of those is another cream layer, which is kind of like a not quite so frozen yogurt or a custard. But I don't know if I recommend them over my other options. It's definitely a B tier type of ice cream, but check it out if you sound interested. The next one are the sugar cones. Now, there's different types of these sugar cones. This one's a Belgian chocolate sugar cone. They're very similar to what we have over here. It's basically a nice sweet cone on the outside and a nice sweet ice cream on the inside. They're also fairly cheap, about 6 for 200 yen. Definitely a recommend for me. The next one are the giant cones. They're just a sundae cone. They're good, but they're not particularly unique or special, so I think it's more of a B tier. But if you want it, can't go wrong. The next one are these Hershey chocolate bars, where they have a vanilla core on the inside and a dark chocolate shell on the outside. In this case, with nuts, almonds. Now, there's nothing wrong with these, but it feels very American, just like with the sundae. So, if you're particularly going for a Japanese type ice cream or a Japanese brand, there are other options. I would rate it as a B tier. Next, we have these cookies and cream options. Now, these are fairly simple. They're a vanilla type yogurt, or really more of a frozen milk, and inside are cookie chunks, cookies and cream. Of course, Japanese ice cream is a little bit less sweet with chocolate cookie, and they're also fairly cheap as well, being about 6 for 200 yen. I would recommend them. Next on this list is the Choco Brie. Well, let's not beat around the bush. These are my absolute favorite ice cream. The inside is a creamy vanilla, just the way I like it. White pure beautiful. On the outside is a thin layer of chocolate, and on top of that layer of chocolate is a coconut. And of course, since it's made with real milk, you want to keep these frozen. And the last best part about the chocolate bries is they're the cheapest ones on this list. You can usually get 5 for 150 yen. So there's no other place for this one but S tier. Next on our list is the breakable chocolate bar. This one's a bit of a novelty. They're basically a single ice cream, but when you open them up, the different pieces break apart, or maybe like a Toblerone, and there's ice cream on the inside, but intermittent chocolate shell that breaks up the different parts, so you can portion it out if you have the self-control. They're good, but there's nothing particularly special about the taste. It's really just ice cream on the middle, plain white ice cream, and chocolate shell on the outside. So if you want to try it, there's definitely nothing wrong with it, but there's more exciting options out there. I would rate this as a B tier. Next are these chocomongus. Now, these ice creams, you'll find them throughout the place, and they have these big, thick wrapping on it. In this case, it's a jumbo version of a chocomonga. But when I opened it up, I wasn't really impressed with it. It basically is to an ice cream cone what a taco bowl is to a burrito, where the outside forms this cone, and on the inside is the white ice cream. But there's nothing special about the outside cone. It's not even really a good sugar cone. It's just a plain cone like you might find at Wendy's or Dairy Cream, and on the inside is mostly just white ice cream and maybe a little bit of chocolate. The flavor is really plain, the cone is really plain, the ice cream is really plain. Maybe if you had some sort of syrup to put on it, you'd get like a chocolate bowl that you could put inside and eat out of. Wasn't super impressed. Next on our list is one of the ones that I found is kind of interesting. It's this coolish pouch. Now, basically, it's just a pouch of soft serve ice cream, but it has a nice capper lid on the top, so you can eat it with one hand as you walk. Definitely don't do that in Japan, by the way. It's super rude. But if no one's watching you. Anyway, this one really comes down to how much you like soft serve ice cream, because it's just soft serve ice cream in a pouch, but it's also fairly cheap. It's about 70 yen. Again, this comes down to how much you actually like soft serve ice cream, but I liked it when I got it, so I would recommend it. B tier. Very similar to the last one are these Papico. Now, basically, the Papico is the same thing as the goulash, which is some sort of mixture, whether that's soft serve ice cream or more of like a smoothie, like a frozen coffee. They have these little bottles on the inside, and you twist open the top, just like those juicies from back in the day, shove it in your gullet. It's more or less the same thing. It comes down to whether you like the flavors or not that they offer. There's a little bit more of a variety, and they're perfectly fine. I don't know if I'd say they're my favorite, but they're definitely solid. B tier. Next one on the list are these Pinots. Now, these ones are very odd little things. They're basically like dots, but ice cream. Each one's about the size of a quarter. They're little dots. They come in a tray. You have a toothpick that you come with them. You stick it inside and pop them in your mouth like some sort of fancy eating. I don't know. They're kind of a novelty, so if you want to try them, that's fine. But to me, they're also just the definition of meh. The next one is a Chinese-style ice cream called So. Basically just a clamshell that you open up, and on the inside is a frozen parfait-like dish, which has fruit on the top, depending on your flavor. But you just get in there with your spoon and eat it. And it must have some sort of antifreeze in it, because even though it has icicles in it to give it a crunchy type of texture, it's always been soft enough to be able to dig in. You see them in the stores as little dishes, and they have all sorts of flavors. Worth a shot. And finally, last on this list are the Ghana ice cream bars. Now, there's different types of Ghana ice cream bars. There's the ones that have vanilla on the inside. There's some that have the strawberry on the inside. I tried the ones that were strawberry on the inside, and they are fantastic. Ghana is a famous chocolate brand from Japan, so this is their implementation as a ice cream bar. These are fabulous. The cookie that makes up both sides of the ice cream are absolutely delicious. They're partially dipped in chocolate on one side, so you can have the nice chocolate covering to your ice cream, but the other side is plain, so you don't get anything on your fingers while you're eating it. This particular example has nuts on the outside. There's some that are strawberry coated on the outside. These are super good. 100% the best ice cream in terms of the quality of the taste. They are a little expensive. They're about 250 yen a piece, depending on where you get them, which makes them more expensive than anything else on the list for a single ice cream. They are, however, apparently at Costco, and people there love them as well. They are also S tier, and if I was made of money, I would eat one every day. But I'm not. So the chocolate breeze are good if you're on the budget. Ganas are the special treat if you can really go out of your way to afford something special, and the rest are pretty good. This is my recommendation of the different types of ice cream that I've had. Of course, there's lots of ice cream in Japan, and there's still plenty for me to eat. So, if you find this interesting, let me know down below, and tell me which one you think is your favorite. That's all for this week. I'm Trevor in Tokyo. See ya next time.